Good evening, and welcome to the Thursday Night Throwdown. Mr. Warrior in the garden, what's happening? Oh,
might work properly. So I'm doing okay. Just hanging out, doing things, and yada yada yada. But yeah,
everything's good.
Yeah, for the most part.
That's good to hear.
You sound better.
I'm not congested as much. No,
he sounds a lot better. Okay, Mr. Spaz.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing better. I'm always blessed.
Absolutely.
Nothing like passing inspections, man.
Oh, isn't that the greatest feeling?
Hoorah.
Yeah. Especially when you don't have the cash in your pocket to bribe them.
Oh, the one we got won't be bribed. He we already tried anyway. So he's not that kind of guy, and we decided we were just going to get to know him better. And so far, it's been working out.
That's good.
We have developed trust.
A good relationship. That's important. All right, let me say hello to some people in the chat here. Mikey Baseball, what's happening? Mr. Spaz is here. Who else we got? Maddie's mom, welcome. And Zombie 5 is here. Who else is here? Oilman 94, welcome to you. Light Spear, Red Fish, Stacks. What's happening? Okay. So, this morning, I lost my voice, even worse than it is now. Keep True, how you doing? I wanted to talk about Ukraine and what Ukraine has to do with presidential politics today, actually, because this CNN clip I pulled, and we're going to watch it. It's kind of weird that the first thing that they say is they're looking for approval. So what I want to do is let's watch this clip, and then we can talk about it and how you guys think it's affecting presidential politics today, right this minute. Because right now, we have Trump doing a town hall, I believe in Wisconsin, and Kamala's interview on CNN, probably running at the same time, which we'll talk about tomorrow. But let's watch this real quick. Let's put this up.
The two top Ukrainian officials will present the Biden administration with a list of targets inside Russia. A Ukrainian lawmaker tells CNN that face-to-face meetings are set to happen before the week is out
And this is what I just said. Why is Ukraine presenting the Biden administration with targets inside Russia? Why would you start off your newscast like that? So let's continue.
effort to push the U.S. to lift restrictions on the use of American weapons against Russia. This comes after Moscow launched what Ukraine is calling another massive aerial attack on Kyiv. The overnight strike is Russia's third on the Ukrainian capital in the past 4 days. At the same time, a fire is raging at an oil depot in Russia's southern region of Rostov, hit by a Ukrainian drone. It's worth noting, since Ukraine took the fight to Russia's soil just weeks ago, it says it has taken more than 100 Russian settlements. Ukraine's shock incursion into Russian territory earlier this month appears to be turning into a longer-term strategy. We're hearing that from CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh, who joins us now live. Nick, you've been delving into Ukraine's motivations in recent weeks as they've made this extraordinary push into Russia. What do you think President Zelensky's real goal is
I think
here?
Rush was more like it.
I think with the bid to try and get the United States through the Biden administration and both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, to whom his officials are presenting this list of potential targets that they want to hit with US supplied weaponry, I think they're trying to allay fears that if they were given permission to strike deeper inside Russia with US supplied weaponry, that they could end up hitting a wider range of targets or even civilian targets by mistake. They're trying to look specific and precise about what they indeed want to hit. But at the same time, by putting forward this list, I think they're also trying to push being a Russia hawk as part of the US presidential campaign. They're essentially daring one of those three politicians to back away from providing them with these permissions. And it comes too after a week in which Ukraine has been on the receiving end of a Russian bombardment of over 400 drones and missiles. Just last night, 79 aerial objects fired at Ukraine, 60 drones shot down, 2 missiles shot down, but 3 missiles do appear to have gotten through. Now, we don't always have great transparency about what's being hit, but it's often energy infrastructure, and it's a bid to make the life of ordinary Ukrainians in the punishing heat of summer and in the forthcoming cold of winter as unlivable as indeed is possible. But we're in a fascinating moment in the war here, of very fast-paced changing events.
Okay, I think that's enough to get our conversation started. Mr. W, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Why does computers always update when you have to do something? You know,
I
you turn
know.
on, it's like, I'm going to update, take 15 minutes out of your life.
That's the way the
do
world
something.
works. Yeah. I'm glad you're here, though.
I made it. Well, My computer let me come on finally.
That's good. That's good. All right, Mr. Warrior. Well, what did you think about that? Just that short little, group of information.
It certainly sounded like we're going to advertise when we're going to bomb. Gee, I wonder who did that. I wonder who advertised a lot when they're getting ready to bomb someplace. And it's another trick to get. I think it's another trick to get people emotionally riled up in this, to get them fear mongering a little bit, to go, oh my gosh, it's escalating, and we have Russia and Ukraine still going on, and then there's the thing going on in Israel and everything else, and the whole Middle East and the whole Eastern hemisphere of the world is going to blow the fuck up. That's kind of what it seems like. It's all it is just to get people. To keep this in the forefront of individuals, because guess what? We're gonna go via proxy or actual boots on the ground war with somebody over there again. Why? It's because there's so much money wrapped up in Ukraine. Ukraine technically isn't even a country still; it's still a territory. So then all these other money laundering schemes that we've uncovered, or the Russians uncovered as they went into Ukraine. To me, this is just whoever is still funding it. We are obviously still funding it, but what is the motive and motivation for Zelensky to keep going? That's what I want to know. Is like why is he? Most likely he's being told to keep going. That's my thought process on this, because we all know that he's a piano playing dick piano playing homosexual who
don't.
Well, that's not the videos that I saw.
Same videos.
I saw some videos that sure as shit looked like Zelensky. Sure as shit was could have been his penis, and sure as shit was a piano. Now, what those three were doing simultaneously, is possibly up for a discussion. But no,
the issue I
had. They played a freaking president on a TV show.
The issue I had was everybody knows it.
Yeah.
They don't.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people I talk to have no idea Zelensky played piano with his penis with a friend.
Yes.
On a America's Got Talent show.
Isn't that sad? Isn't that disturbingly sad? Where people at this point they're not even comprehending this notion of, I don't know, gee, who is Zelensky? Oh, I don't know. He's some person in Ukraine. I don't even know where Ukraine is on the map. That's kind of how I feel when like Spaz is talking to people. Same way with me. I'm thinking, how do you guys not fucking know this? Do you not pay attention? I mean, are you always in Netflix? Are you always in Facebook? Are you always in social medias where you're not paying attention? Obviously.
I'll say one thing to that. TikTok.
Hold on.
Pokemon Go, right?
Pokemon Go.
Yeah. That's the thing right there. No, you're right. I have TikTok, but I plan on using it for something else other than educating people. I want to try to make some money and scam off of it through my dogs. Use my dogs as proxies. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get QR code and everything else, and dog park and make some fucking money off these dogs, these damn things.
It's not a conspiracy.
No, it's not a conspiracy. It's not. I'm definitely not shilling for any money on any kind of platform except for TikTok. That's the only one I'm actually shilling money off of. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to make money off TikTok, apparently.
Hey, just start crying. Your dogs are going to die if you don't make enough money this week. You're going to have to put them down.
Oh my gosh!
I had to get a fundraiser this morning for friggin' light bulbs.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how much light bulbs cost.
Oh my God.
2 of them for $18.
That's cheap though. That's cheap. $2 for
you should have called me.
Are you kidding me? I almost shit myself.
That's ridiculous.
Mr. W, what do you think that Zelensky is basically trying to do with invading Russia, knowing that Russia can at any time annihilate them?
Yeah,
It's
just kind of like what Warrior just said. It's a hey, we're still here, because a lot of people forgot about Ukraine because of everything's going on in Israel. It's like, hey, we're still here, because I don't know if you guys see the videos that the soldiers put out Reddit and stuff. They'll put out videos.
Telegram,
of
yeah.
yeah. And how are these guys even fighting the war? They're too busy, like Warrior said, TikToking in the middle of a war zone or making videos.
Doesn't it remind? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but doesn't it remind you of COVID when all the nurses and the doctors were making
We're
all those
dancing.
stupid, were dancing on the TikTok videos and shit like that? It's exactly what it reminds me of.
Same thing. They're in a war zone. They're out there doing line dances, and it's just like
Yeah, not for nothing though. There are some videos out there that show a lot of dead guys.
mhm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've seen them. You guys seen them. Smokey Randy, what's happening? There's a lot of that too. But you're right. There's a lot of shenanigans going on. Spaz, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not even sure because that was the thing. I was listening to Warrior, and that was the thing that stuck in my head is, I think it's the whole fucking point. A lot of people have absolutely no idea that Zelensky played piano with a friend on a talent show, apparently, allegedly
Yeah.
with his penis. I mean, he was playing a piano like this. I mean, I don't know what else you play with it unless you got fucking balls of steel, right? I'm
No,
just,
it happened. You're right.
and
It happened.
even if you have balls of steel, it doesn't mean that you should be the president of Ukraine.
Well, he was I'm not going to say selected, yes, but he was put in place in 2014,
Right.
late 2013, early 2014, while the coup was happening,
When the money started rolling in.
when we facilitated the
Oh,
coup. Yeah,
right.
and basically, you saw what happened at the beginning of the war. The Ukrainians didn't give a shit about the Russians pouring over the border. They were too busy destroying paperwork and buildings and labs and everything else.
And that's a funny thing. You remember 91 to 93?
Yeah,
The war was on TV
Every day.
24 hours a day. We saw shit, or we allegedly think we saw shit while that was going on. Apparently, Warrior actually saw shit.
Oh, yeah, he was there.
Actually saw shit.
No, I was 11 and 13 years old during that time frame, so I didn't see. You know, I just got out of learning how to wipe my ass at that point. So
But anyway,
Ah,
Wiped his ass and they gave him a rifle and said, "Go for it."
yeah,
bud."
they're like, here you go, you're a man now. You can wipe your ass with your left hand.
well, it is an achievement. It's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
You can wipe your ass. I mean, and we can.
well, son of a bitch.
I'm just wondering if people remember Lazinski was on a TV show about what he's doing now. A lot of people don't remember that.
Yes, he did
Yes,
a
that
comedy.
got memory hole too.
I have
Yeah.
no idea what you're talking about.
He was in a TV show where a comedian became president of the Ukraine.
Yeah,
That was the TV show.
Yep.
yeah. It was the whole premise of it was kind of like Jesse Ventura, where he was just a personality, and then all of a sudden he won the presidency. People were like, "Okay, we're gonna pick him as president," and then here he is president. You know, and I go back to when the son of a bitch speech, right, where he said, "Well, we need to, the prosecutor is fired," and he reaches out and he goes, "We put someone that's solid."
Mm-hmm.
So who did they install? Was it Zelensky they installed that was solid, or was it somebody else? Because that was the same time frame.
Yeah, that was about
Yeah.
Because didn't Trump have a talk with Zelensky?
the perfect phone call. I remember.
Yeah, the perfect phone
I'm
call.
just saying. I mean, maybe
The one they impeached him over.
we should listen to that a couple times over and over.
Well, I don't know why that they would impeach Trump over that phone call when Zelensky was the one who said there was nothing wrong with it. He didn't pressure me. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. But they impeached him anyway.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm sure it's because they thought he implied things to him,
Oh, yeah.
as in like a Q conspiracy of secret encoding or something.
Well, Spaz,
Going on right now.
obviously, he's playing 5D chess and he's a quadruple spy that we have no idea what Trump is doing.
Right.
You know, obviously it's that. So we can't be anything else. It can't be where he's Zelensky's an actual person from the deep state or a puppet of the deep state, and it definitely couldn't be that Trump was ever part of the actual club where everybody else is part of. It couldn't be that at all. So it's not like they know each other or anything on a global scale.
Did you ever
They
think?
do.
Did you ever?
I know they
think
do.
Time, like the whole vampire story thing, because vampires have like followers, right? That are supposedly human,
Yes.
right? What do they call them?
Mhm.
What do they call them? No, there's a word for that. What do they call them?
Familiars.
Familiars.
We'll call them Twilighters because
That's from Blade.
Well,
Familiars.
familiars, yes. These were the people who would do their bidding. I think they just came out with a movie like that not too long ago.
Yeah.
Someone he would do his bidding, and he only got like a taste of the power or something, which could be, the power of manipulation. I mean, even if you got like 2% more functioning property of your brain, I mean, imagine what you can do in this mindless fuckery that we live in every day.
Well, I don't know if any of you guys saw the show this morning, but
I'm sorry,
I played one clip that showed Eric Holder. Eric Holder is very pivotal in the Kamala Harris apparatus that's hanging out right now because there's nobody else. So the deep state, the shadow government, which he's very big and a part of, is basically still running this administration while our president is at the beach waiting for weapons packages from Ukraine. So we also have to tag who else do you think is running the Kamala show? How about answering that question?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody but them. Anybody but Kamala. Anybody but Joe. Pick your poison at this point. I mean, hell, it could be just what Obama said. It could be he's in the basement somewhere with an earpiece in his pajamas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Remember,
Making
he had his third term. Remember, I'll remember that.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy too because usually, like when a president's on the campaign trail, the vice president will be given the powers of the president, right? Am I correct? When the president's not available, the vice president's there. So would it be is the chief of staff standing in for him, or who's sitting at the White House right now?
Nobody.
Nobody.
He's at Rehoboth at the beach today.
Yeah, you got to get a nap at the beach when you're president every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's so fucking gay. Oh, it's so fucking gay. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Think about it. In all seriousness, who is running our government? And this is a question that's been going on now for almost 4 weeks.
It's a great question.
That's a great question. And I missed Tuesday night. So, I didn't get the Great Question podcast. So I'll put them together here. But literally, who is running our government? We can say all these names, but somebody is making decisions. It's certainly not Congress. So whoever wants to speak on that,
I think it's probably our lobbyists, the lobbyists we have running our nation. To be honest, they're the most influential groups in our entire world. So, wherever they come from is whoever is dictating the policy.
I think RFK talked about that I think when he was on Tucker the other night. It was 1949 when they opened it up to the lobbyists, they could pay whatever.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like any of us, like we could never run for president. None of us could because we don't have the backing of the big corporations or the lobbies anymore. And ever since then, it changed American politics into a business. It's look at all the bailouts. You look at the wars. Who profits from everything? Big business, not us, not the people.
No. We just go and fight them.
Yeah, it's just like any other war. You send the poor man in to die so the rich man can get richer.
Yeah. That's basically what it is.
I mean,
And that's the way it's always been.
Yeah. So when are we as the people going to stop participating in their shitty system? That's what I want to know. Like when are we going to stop worrying about a lot of these small things in life around us and start pointing fingers at and trying to seek out who truly is in charge? Whatever entity it is, whatever group of people it is, if it's a spider web of connections, of network of individuals, it's probably something like that. But there are definitely systems of control which people are completely oblivious to. And I look at to who has control over these systems of control. That's what I'm looking for. And people don't like the answer I'm coming up with. I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for the answer. But as of right now, everything that I'm looking at says that this person here is Jewish or claims to be Jewish. This person here claims to be Jewish. This person here claims to be Jewish. So if a duck quacks and a duck waddles, am I supposed to call it an elephant? I mean, right now, I would like, for the really smart people who are listening here to guide me in a different direction. But I'm already doing research on this to move, because I understand there's layers to the system here. And in order to find out who's at top, you have to ask hard questions and you have to go against everybody else. Exactly what I'm doing right now. And because I don't give a shit about Trump. I don't give a shit about the right or left. Okay. I know that both systems of both parties are corrupt as fuck. Yeah. All right. Everybody. If you don't just become a billionaire by hard work, you become a billionaire by compromising yourself and your principles and doing what the people who are allowing you to have that much money for you to do whatever you want to do. See what I'm saying? So just because he's a billionaire doesn't mean that he's not in the game. Doesn't mean he's not in the system or he's in the club. All right. And that's part of the systems of control is that and what I'm learning is that we have, there's an inability for people to disassociate themselves with what they feel, what they feel comfortable with. And that's a big problem. But it's a process. It can't be done overnight. It has to be done systematically and structurally. Most importantly, the individual has to see these systems of control. And if they don't see the systems of control, they're going to continuously go back and forth, left and right. They're going to be a ping pong being passed back and forth, not knowing what the fuck is going on. For real.
Here's my question, though. And this is where I come into having certain issues with a lot of the stuff that we talk about. If Trump is such a pivotal part of the system, why are they trying to destroy him wholesale on every level?
Well, we've already talked about this, Pete. We've already covered this.
That.
But it's the hero's journey that we're watching here. Okay? Trials and tribulation comes out, attempted assassination, and comes out victorious on top. All right? Israel has already claimed Trump to be their Moshiach, their Messiah, their deliverer from something or someone. Okay? They put him on a freaking coin with King Cyrus, for crying out loud. Go look at King Cyrus and what he did.
Any of those coins, by the way.
You can look up online.
The two people that went to Israel, I saw one of them last week, and the week before. I think I mentioned it on my show, and the other one I saw yesterday. Her husband, who was in there a couple of seats down from me getting treatment, and he mentioned it to me. Said he's never seen them before.
Okay, well, I guess I'm guessing the minting group of Israel is just minting half shekels and shekels for no reason with Trump's face on it.
Hey, Beach Bum and Mermaid, you just claimed a subscription.
Oh, and I was gifted one. Thank you very much, Beach Bum and Mermaid. Appreciate it.
Cool, thank you so much.
Right.
I just hold on one second. I want to say hello to Disco Daphne, because usually she lurks in there or is on the YouTube putting up stuff. But thank you for being here. She's one, like Beach Bum and Mermaid, a super mod, and I appreciate you being here, Mermaid. Nothing but love for you, and we got you. But yeah, I'm not trying to argue, start a fight, so on and so forth. But
Meet you out back after the show, guys.
No.
Yeah, right.
no.
That's a long walk. That's a long walk.
If only to pee, at least, you know.
Yeah, right. I can't walk that far, guys.
There's a lot of controversy about certain things.
Right.
People who think critically and logically look at this stuff and say, I can't make that connection yet.
Right.
Which is fine.
Right?
Yep.
And then
Which is
that's
okay.
what I'm saying. That connections for a lot of people is hard to make. So whether you or other people see it as clear as day, which I understand, sometimes you have to let people gradually get to their journey.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, if we're to find out who and what is controlling and pulling the strings and making the decisions in our country, we have to look at everything on the table. We have to question literally everything that we see and everything that we hear from even from Trump, from everybody. Okay. If we're not questioning that, then I think we're doing a dereliction of our own minds here of the smarts that each person has.
Mhm.
Okay, I say people are dumb, but individuals are smart. I want
Allegedly.
individuals to start thinking for themselves instead of just, oh well, I think we should do this and not, don't look so 3 centimeters below the surface. People, get your excavator out and start digging. Maybe you need the spoon, and then you graduate to a handheld shovel, and then you graduate to a garden shovel. Then you graduate to an e-tool, which is an Army's or Marines shovel, and then it's a spade shovel, and then it's a backhoe. And you just keep digging and digging and digging. I haven't come to this conclusion just overnight, people. I've been on this journey since almost a year now.
Mhm.
And it's a hard journey to go through because not everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody thinks you're crazy, and all of a sudden you have Trump derangement syndrome, and you hate America, and people telling you to shut the fuck up and stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, how does that help the actual conversation at all?
It
How do
doesn't.
we precisely? That's my exact point. It's always been my point.
But let me tell you something. You can't overtake a conversation every single time with the same conclusion because it
No.
doesn't apply.
Not every single time, but in our this framework that we're talking about right here,
Yes.
it does, because we're asking who's in control.
Now we can
Okay.
do that. But if we're
Okay.
having a conversation about something totally different, completely different, and somebody interjects that for shock and awe, I reject that.
Are you referring to what happened last Tuesday?
Yes,
I thought it was
Okay.
Thursday.
No, it was Tuesday,
whatever it was.
Thursday or Tuesday, whatever it was.
And I completely have no problem with that. But there has to be a time and a place for the conversation
Oh, I totally agree.
to derail things by interjecting stuff because that's what you want to hear. It's not right. Is what I'm saying.
I get you.
And it's just like, you know me, Justin, I will not shy away from any conversation.
No.
We
I mean,
shouldn't.
we don't, first of all. But I mean, the thing is that I understand. Even from last week, I just want to say this real quick. Last week, I understand both points of view.
Oh,
I
there
really
you go.
do. And I watched it a couple times, and I think there was a massive miscommunication between the two because Salty came in 20 minutes late, and he didn't hear the first 20 minutes of what you and Spaz were talking about. He just immediately associated with one thing instead of saying, okay, this is the context of the situation or the conversation. Let's work it in what I know about whatever into the conversation.
And I would have no problem with that if he would have found out the context of the conversation, which wasn't that.
Yeah, it was something else about Kamala or
It
whatever.
was something different. We were talking about
The housing.
yes, housing. 3 million houses.
Three
Now,
million new
how
houses.
you
Yeah.
work Jews and Hitler into 3 million houses, fuck if I know.
Well,
Well,
But he found a way to
I mean,
do it. And it pissed
Hitler
me the
owned
fuck
a
off.
roofing company, if I remember correctly.
yeah, I think so, right? And like a concrete company too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
Now,
he made shingles on the side.
And foundations, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I have
But
no
anyways.
problem. I have no problem with Salty Nuts being on my show. He's entertaining. But you brought up the conversation in the context to what we were talking about.
Correct. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
If I would say we're talking about constructing a retaining wall for this, that, or the other thing with Spaz, and then Mr. W comes in and says, well, you know, in 1944, the Jews at Auschwitz, they put this retaining wall up. I would have a fucking problem
No,
with that.
no, I understand. I do, because I watched it a couple times and I analyzed it, and I'm like, okay, all right, well,
Thank you,
nobody here is specifically at fault that I could see, and that's pretty much all I want to say about that. So
We
but-
all
but-
just being who we are, and well, clang clash. There went the pots and pans.
Yeah.
Right. No, you're right, Sleigh Bells. He did do, prior to World War II, he did do a lot of things to help out the average person in Germany at the time, and that all of that stuff that he's done. I encourage people to go look and to find the information for yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Do your own research. Watch the AI translations of his speeches and stuff like that. But it's you can't deny, but the whole World War II thing just gets overshadowed by the things that he did to help Germany bring Germany from dismay and despair and rumble and chaos and destruction to the most powerful country in the world in a very, very short amount of time, within a 10-year span. Actually not within a 5-year span, I think it was.
I think his handler just called and told him we can't talk about that.
Oh, okay. Was that April? You guys can talk about that. You can
How's
talk
everybody
about
doing?
but anyways, but no, when if we want to talk about who's in charge of our government, we have to look who is paying our politicians, who is influencing our politicians. How are they influenced? Obviously a lot of them are motivated. I mean, 95% of them are motivated by money, and that's
All of
obvious.
All
Man,
of them got their APAC
Yes.
guy, right?
did you
Well,
see?
APAC. I was thinking Nancy Pelosi with her amazing investments that she has a 64% return on every single time. I'm talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you something. I sent Salty 2 direct messages about the situation that happened last Tuesday, and I never got a response.
Oh, he's probably still mad at me for laughing. Apparently, I
just
was
saying.
laughing, and he was mad at me. But I was just like, you know me. I sit back and I see the whole fucking thing. It's. I could see it coming. I see the hammer. I see the bell. I'm just like, I'm gonna hear a ring.
And like I said, I don't have a problem with having him on my show.
Right,
I
let
don't.
it ring, man. Let it ring.
Let the bell ring is right.
Amen.
But
Conversation must continue.
just like everybody else I have on the show, they have to be in context of everything.
Right. We can talk about.
We're going to talk
Yeah.
about this. We can talk about it. If we're talking about something else, we're talking about something else. And if you don't know anything about that, wait until you can interject. Don't interject whatever you do know that doesn't pertain to the context. Is that fair?
No, I think it's totally fair. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you could relay that to him.
Great.
Since
It's
you
like
don't
two
wanna-
divorced parents right now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to answer my
Get lawyer on the weekends.
Yeah, right. You give me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
because not for nothing. But I think he's good. He's good content.
Yeah, no, he is.
He has valid points about a lot of stuff, and he has unvalid points about even more stuff.
Right. It just needs to be in the context of what you're talking about, the conversation.
And I think that's fair to say.
I totally agree. And I would expect, if I came on here and I was spouting about something else that was completely off topic, I would expect you to say, hey, listen, we're not talking about that. We can talk about that on Tuesday if you want to. And we're talking about this tonight because it's your show.
Yeah.
And it's your show. So we'll talk about what you want to talk about.
Right. But like I said, what you said was in the parameters of how the conversation went.
Yeah, it was at the boundaries of the conversation. Yeah. I mean, I understand that, and that's why I brought it up, because I wanted to clarify that there was miscommunication somewhere along the line of, and then here we are now. So, like I said, I'm not going to speak for Salty. I'm not going to speak for you, Pete.
Right.
I'm just only going to put my opinion in what I see and how I see it. So,
that
but anyways,
happens
okay.
a lot, though. People jump
And
in
Randy,
on any channel and not know what really is going on. I mean, we Warriors had, how many shows did we do together? Where uncountable. We
18, almost 2 years, almost 2 years of
yeah, lots of them.
And like whatever, because it doesn't matter at the end. It doesn't matter at the end.
I don't mind having Smokey Randy on my show either. I've actually offered. I even know that Spaz offered one time a while back for him to come on. He never did.
As long as he wears a shirt.
Yeah, I have no problem about anybody coming on my show to voice their opinion. None. But you got to do it the right way.
Keep it in the context of the conversation. That's
exactly. And just like
a simple request.
Mr. W, you and I and Spaz have done, I can't even count how many shows together that we have always kept it sort of on point. It kind of goes, exactly. But we were always in the right parameter.
You were on the road still.
Yeah.
Went off.
Yeah, we're keeping in between the yellow lines, or the white lines.
Yeah. Somewhere.
We may go into oncoming traffic, but we'll eventually work our way back over.
It's
like, oh shit. Yeah.
I remember
it's like going to the doctor on Tuesdays with Mrs. PTP. She's dangerous.
How have you not had a heart attack or have anxiety or like your heart's literally stopped because did you just like do this the entire time? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Everything. I thank God for that. I can't see everything, so
that's
I'm
good.
okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not that on purpose. Then he's like, oh.
All I do is periodically hear fucking Prius, damn Tesla,
Damn Tesla.
bucket, stupid ass motherfucker. That's all I hear periodically.
See hands do this with middle fingers.
Yeah.
Pow, pow, pow.
Constantly.
Oh, you know what you should do? You guys should get the little mold, the silicone mold, and have her do this with her hand, and that way she can just put it on the hood of her Jeep right there.
She wanted to buy the one from, I think, the TikTok shop. It's a little thing you stick in the window. It's a light. And it has a remote, and you can put the finger up. You can do all that shit. And I'm like, I gotta buy a gun first because I'm gonna get shot.
I gotta have a little backseat bat with me at all times.
Exactly.
My wife showed me that shit. You cannot buy that finger light.
I told her. I said,
is it LED? Is it the LED one? Okay, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, like LED.
I want one of those really bad. I really do.
I can just see her. She'd have them all over the car.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, but we get there. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, it'd be like Murder Truck, but just flipping off truck.
It's the Teslas, the Priuses. I mean, she would constantly.
She would put in there like Tesla and then the middle finger.
Yes.
She would do that. Like Prius, middle finger, man.
Yeah.
and you probably won't get shot at. But as soon as you put a fucking American flag on your,
I'll get run off the road.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, we know who you're voting for.
Sleigh bells. I think it's on the TikTok shop. if Mrs. PTP is in the chat, you can ask her, what's up, Jim Bob?
That
But,
should be a sponsor of your show, Pete. We should find this company and have them sponsor your show.
that could probably work. Patriot Party podcast has just come in with a phone saying, "What's up, fuckers?" Did they raid?
And the raid.
And a raid. Thank you so much. Welcome, Raiders.
Sean Joe, always with the cookies.
Sean Joe, thank you for the cookie. Appreciate that. Yeah, anyway, so I knew that was going to come up into the show tonight, one way or another. And
Because it had to.
it had to. I don't want to have, let me tell you something.
Can I laugh about it?
From wholeheartedly in the deepest bowels of my black heart. I don't want no fucking problems with anybody. I got too many. I got too many problems.
99 problems and a bitch ain't one.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that shit.
I solve problems every day.
I don't want. I want to just have a good time. I want to have a good time. I want to talk about shit that's going on. I want to be funny. I mean, yesterday, I'll tell you something that I made the doctor, well, not the doctor, but a couple of the nurses kind of freak out yesterday. I have to go get a biopsy on my tumor that's attached to my heart. It's big, okay? Because of a new treatment that's coming out. They want to do tests before they give me the treatment. So I told the nurse, because we were making the schedule for the next couple of weeks. I said, "You don't think they're doing a biopsy because the doctor thinks I have cancer, do you?" And not the nurse that was helping somebody else 3 chairs down went like this. She looked at me and she goes, "I think it's too late for that." And the other ones, I said, "You know what? You're going to remember that. Everybody here has cancer." So, yeah.
See, no, that's what people say to me. I don't, Warrior understands this. If especially you're a veteran, you make fun of everything. Everything's funny. It doesn't matter. And I have a hard time being serious with anything. Someone could get, like in Iraq, one of my buddies got shot in the arm. We're making fun of him for 2 hours before he got Kazvac. Like, oh, you're not going to be using that for what anymore.
Yeah, you're gonna be jerking off your left arm now, aren't you, pal? Yeah, no, it's true. It's so true.
And I can't stop it. It doesn't matter. I could be at a funeral. I'm going to crack a joke. It doesn't matter.
And you know what? That's the way Mrs. PTP is. She handles stress and stuff in a very different way that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really is shocking to me. But like you said, you got to make fun of this stuff because regardless of what we're going through, there's only one way out. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
We might as well have a good freaking time while we're here.
Exactly.
It's very true. It's very true.
I try to tell people, why are you so serious? Well, because my car broke down. Oh, okay. Whoa, that's a big deal. There's other things where,
Yeah. And most veterans, especially if we've been shot at, we're like, all right, well, did you die? No, I didn't. Okay, well then pick yourself up, go find a mechanic, get your car fixed, and then just figure it out, right? I mean, it's like, oh, my milk spilled. Are you gonna cry about it?
I thought
it's just
the first
milk.
thing was, where's the firing coming from?
Well, I mean, usually people
milk,
from the dark,
right?
but
Fuck the milk. Somebody shooting at me? Yeah. Where's that shit coming from? That's look.
Some people
Thank you, mermaid.
everything.
You
Oh my God! Trump said
turn
this,
yourself
Camilla
on.
said this. I was like, who cares?
He's gonna turn
yeah, I'm right there with you, Mr. W. It's like, okay, great, they said something. Congratulations. We know they're an idiot. We know she's an idiot. Okay, let's move
Yes.
on.
But I love pointing it out. I think it's fantastic.
Well, it's an easy target. That's why it's so easy to make fun of her. I mean, it's not, and same with Tim Waltz.
He's
there's
not closet, is he?
No. He's like, tell me you're gay without telling me you're gay.
That
You
lady
know,
is.
he's not a he may not be a flamboyant, but he's definitely an old queen. That's for sure.
You mean like the backboard is?
Yeah. You don't have to ask. You can
It's
just.
little.
Is that what you're talking about? No backboard.
Hey, Trick Pony.
His favorite game is just the tip. All right.
There are no trick shots. You got.
At least I say thank you for the tip. If you're gonna give me a big tip, lubricate it.
Yeah, Hawk Tui that shit right there.
Hawk Tui that shit. Exactly.
Are they still going about his stolen valor stuff with him? Because I haven't watched the news in a while. They still.
Yeah.
going with it?
They're
I don't know.
they're still they're mentioning it.
Well,
I
Is
got
it
into
true?
with somebody on X the other day. He's like, "Well, he served our country." I was like, "No, he served his state. He was in the National Guard,
Yeah.
and he was called up to active duty twice, but he served his state. He didn't serve his country; he served his state. There's a big difference. A lot of people don't understand that the National Guard belongs to the state. When he got called up by the nation, when his unit got called up to Iraq, he's like, "Oh, I'm retiring."
Yep.
see,
You know how long it takes to retire in the military? It takes up to 6 months to file your paperwork, get approved, all this good stuff.
Well, yeah, they gave his deployment stuff like a year out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here, guys.
Yeah. I mean, basically, that's why they all are pissed at him, is because they all did the training because they know they were going to deploy, and he didn't tell anybody he was retiring. So when it came time to deploy, he went and retired.
Wow.
They all went to Iraq. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"What
that's-
the fuck is everybody?"
Yeah, you don't.
That's dirty. That's
Yeah,
just very cowardice.
Yeah, I think
Very
so.
dirty. You know,
Okay.
you're called to serve your country. You know, now looking back at it, I realized I was a pawn, but you know, it was a call to serve the country, and so I answered the call. Little did I know, you know, what actually conspired 20 years later. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, a lot of people think, well, you went to Iraq, you know, it's not about the big cause. It's about fighting beside that guy next to you.
That's what people don't understand.
That's what
Yeah.
it's about.
That's
that's the
what
way
they,
you get home, really.
you're not fighting. And I've never been in the military, but you're not fighting for the country. You're fighting for the person next to you and the person behind you.
Hmm.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand with Tim Walz, is that he took that trust and just destroyed it,
Oh, big time.
completely destroyed it. And a lot of people think, yes, thank you for spending 24 years in the National Guard. I'm not going to knock that service at all. Thank you.
I will.
Oh, when it came time for him to be with his men,
Exactly.
he went into
Yeah.
oncoming traffic.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no, that's one thing. You know, even if you were decided to stay on post the entire time, at least you had the balls to be deployed with your people.
Yeah,
You know.
When I was in Ramadi, we in our police station, when we're in hit teams, on our walls we had complacency kills, and then on the other wall we do not fight for our country nor flag. We fight for each other. That was written on the wall. We never knew who wrote it, but it was there when we took over, and that's always stuck to heart, because it's not about the flag. It's not about your country. It's about if I don't do my job, Warrior's not coming home. Warrior doesn't do his job. Spaz is not coming home. If Spaz doesn't do his job, none of us could come home.
that's right.
But a lot of people don't look at it like that. They think, oh my God, you went over there and you're fighting for push and all this and mass weapons of mass destruction and all that bullshit.
That's the government.
Yeah.
That was the governmental narrative to get you guys to go there.
Hmm.
It's just like
That was the lie.
9/11 was the catalyst for 22 years of
Yeah.
war. For what?
Money.
Yep. That was it. That's the only thing that the only people who actually benefit from war are the ones that start the wars and fund
That's
it.
right.
That's
And
the
they
only
fund-
ones that benefit
They
from
fund
war.
both sides too. Think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, the same people will fund both sides. Yeah.
all the sides.
Yeah.
Smokey Randy said, Brian Williams is his.
He is.
Yeah. He. There's a picture of him on my bedroom wall. Yeah, I pray to him like Brian Williams. You're my hero.
That's
The
funny.
Commodore.
What about Hillary
I just-
Clinton?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
she's
under sniper fire.
Oh, they were shooting at me. Oh my God!
This is
And-
just as bad as a CNN's green screen that they were in front of during the first
okay.
Iraqi war.
Oh,
Is it,
Scud missiles are coming in. Ooh,
isn't that interesting that that meme just came out of what Hillary and who was under the desk with Bill Clinton?
Monica
Monica.
Lewinsky.
Right.
Monica.
No, I'm getting it wrong. I think it was Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton.
He's the one that Trump.
Right. Well,
retreated
blowjobs affected them both
differently.
in different ways. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's true.
Isn't that interesting? That just came out
Yeah.
at the same time. It's just
Well, they're getting so desperate. Now they're starting to bring back QAnon,
Yeah.
which is not even a thing. There's no such thing as QAnon. It doesn't exist. Why do they
Oh, but
keep
they're gonna again. Here we are. The news cycle is doing what? Repeating itself
repeating itself?
over and over and over again, because once they exhaust, they have a litany of things that they talk about, and once they've exhausted each one of those, they just start. Well, what do we do now?
Go back
Let's
to
start.
page one.
Let's just
Page
start
one.
over.
Read from page one again.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to Russia. How about we do that? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
Look.
that's right. What the fuck?
see. This
Bacon
is the
gay.
difference to me. Before QAnon or anybody who was ever talking about it, I didn't know about adrenochrome.
You
I didn't
didn't?
know about adrenochrome. All I know is what was talked about in the science manuals about the length of telomeres on the chromosomes in each and every cell, and that the length of these telomeres determined by the chromosomes in the cell the youthfulness of the cell, and that could scientifically could be replenished by more youthful blood being injected in because that's what replenishes the cell. The blood replenishes the cell with all kinds of whatever the cell needs, but the youthfulness of it, right? And then I'm like, I keep watching all these movies with vampires in them, and well, maybe I can, fix or formulate myself a correlation between that, and then because of Q, and that people who talked about what Q talked about, that I discovered adrenochrome,
Mhm.
and I got a shirt from Rise Attire
Good night, Tammy.
up on the wall that shows me the chemical white rabbit of adrenochrome. And then, you do your own research and you find out there's some kind of fucking island in Germany that produces this. And the only way to produce adrenochrome, right? Righteously, naturally is right. You know how, right?
I do.
Right? You know how. Okay, so somewhere, somehow, sometime on this flat plane of a surface of a planet, this is going on. It's going on enough that it's a prominent.
But here's the thing, Spaz. It hasn't just been going on for the last 100 years. It's been going on for the last 3,000
So-
years, 4,000 years. It was just called something different, They just called it a blood child sacrifice, or
What-
whoever they're giving their offering to.
What if just overturning enough rocks that was enough to make the bugs scurry? And perhaps maybe you can define the few bugs that scurry away when you overturn rocks. And maybe I'm using an incorrect analogy. If you could just fucking stop those fucking few bugs, wouldn't the world just change?
No, it wouldn't, because there's always going to be somebody to come behind those bugs.
Exactly.
Right.
I've always said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Warner talked about this one night for about 2 hours. That
It's the idea, the
idea.
idea that is, which is very hard to kill. It's the ideology that's just hard to kill. That's why ISIS is still around, is because the ideology understands that they want to go underground. There's still a large group of them that want to have a seventh caliphate and gain control of the rest of the world. So it's never going to go away unless you kill every single fucking one of them.
Yeah, you can kill the messenger, but you'll never kill the message.
That exactly. Unless you make it so, you'd have to be so brutal that even the utterance of the words would bring death upon people.
So,
and you would have to scare generations in order for people to stop talking about it. And we're talking a mass amount of killing of people and suppression and everything else.
What if it was decimation and suppression of certain bloodlines? I mean, you wouldn't have to kill everybody.
That's possible too.
You could just figure out the Rubik's Cube patterns, and that's what. Oh, see, here we go. Yep. God damn it. Now I'm a fucking Nazi. Right? This is exactly what we're talking about. We're conversing the extermination.
Yeah, no.
And thinking it's a good idea.
There's the problem. This is the way that I see it. Is that you can try and destroy a bloodline. It has been done successfully. But the problem is, there always going to be somebody to come and say, my great uncle so-and-so. Now that bloodline starts again. And there's no way to prove that it was ever eradicated. Because the bloodline, say like for the Rothschilds, used to be pure. Now it is so polluted that they don't know which end is what. But that bloodline and that name will never go anywhere. That's the problem I see with it. Anybody can claim to be something that they're not. And the burden is for you to prove it's not. Most people aren't like, say, Duppy, who would go 5,000 years back and look. They don't want to invest. So that's why I look at it.
It's kind of, when Spaz brought up vampires, it kind of made me, in the bloodlines, it kind of made me think, remember when the craze was vampires, then it switched to zombies, and now it's switching to the royal bloodlines with all the, like the Bridgerton and all these other shows. Mm-hmm. Are they trying to tell us something? You know, how they went from zombie, or because zombies came in with The Walking Dead and all that, and then we had Twilight crap and all the vampire shows, and how it just switches the narrative to everything. Now every TV show's about some royal family.
Yeah.
And my wife watches every one of them. Oh my God.
And I know, like, me and Warrior have talked about this many times. History is never going to go away. It's going to repeat itself like we're seeing now, over and over and over again. When Spaz brings up adrenochrome, he's talking about adrenochrome, where people only started talking about that when Trump started getting into office. Then there was people like me who started talking about that before George Bush was in office, and how it affected people and things like that. It goes and it comes in cycles, and we're seeing another cycle come around with the QAnon, adrenochrome, this, that, and the other thing. And that's context that we have to be able to put everything into, because it's all valued. So
where do them kids go?
That's
imagine being in a country where we have so much technology, we have so much social media, we are so fucking connected with each other. We can just and talk to each other, right? Where the fuck do kids go missing?
You know
Why?
that as well as I do.
Why isn't everything stopped? Everybody just fucking stop and find this fucking kid. This fucking kid has to be somewhere. Find the fucking kid. We have the Amber Alert system, but I think it's ineffective because nobody gives a shit.
No.
I'm just saying, you know what? Let's, since we all like.
Do you remember the woman who got arrested in Haiti with Hillary for taking the kids?
Yep.
Yes.
You remember her name? You know what she's part of? Amber Alert.
Imagine that.
Primary
Right.
founders.
Yes.
Yeah, I would probably that would be a really good investigation to try to find out where these children go, because
Very true.
earlier this year I had definitely I had a lady by the name of Butterfly on my show, and I interviewed her, and she's spending a lot of time worrying about the kids on the border and talking to other organizations that actually are on the border. They have funding. She's solo as far as I know from now. I haven't touched base with her lately, but when it was the government gave us that number of 80,000 kids that have gone missing and coming across the border.
Yeah.
She said it's more like 800,000 that are missing at the border right now, most likely. And then recently I heard that the whoever is doing the numbers, there was like 320,000 missing. It was 180,000, and then it was like 280 the next day, that the official number. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that puts it at 1.5 or 2 million kids that are missing, that have come across from God knows where, and where are they going? Again, systems of control. There are somebody is making these shot calls. Somebody is putting things into order. Some people are ordering these buses to go and pick up these people. Somebody is people. There has to be a knowledge of these stash houses for these children. All the news and a lot of people, prominent people, they recognize that the kids coming over, they come in as a debt, so they already come in as a slave. Indentured servitude, modern day indentured servitude people. Okay, are they going to get reparations from our country because they got trafficked into our country? That's what I want to know. That's a question that is going to be, somebody's going to bring it up, because they're going, oh well, all these families who had their children are missing, they need reparations for their child. Oh. Well, who gets that money, and how without DNA, how do you determine if it's your child? You know what I'm saying? So
Trump did.
It just seemed extortion to me. I know he actually took DNA, required the agents to take DNA from the patients, from the parents, and the child, and have them match up. I know that. I know he did that.
Day one, Biden took that policy out.
Oh, day one, he took 93 other policies out as well.
Yeah, and why would you do that?
What about these Christians organizations that they pick them up, always pick these up, put them on the buses? Oh, we're taking them to the shelter. Or you never.
That was gonna be my next comment. Is you have the churches, you've got the NGOs, you have these other organizations from other countries that are pumping a bunch of money into it. You have, and then nobody is keeping track. They're in international countries and international places, and a lot of the countries they operate in, they don't have the exact tracking systems that we do here in America. Their infrastructure as it was well built as here as America, and so guess what happens? Those children just go away. Either that, or the parents can't afford it anymore. And this is probably most like what happens is that these organizations, the Red Cross or whatever, goes into these areas, these humanitarian companies. They go into these poor areas and say, "Oh my gosh, you have 4 kids and you're pregnant and you can't take care of the youngest one. Tell you what, we'll give you $5,000 and we'll take your child and we'll give them a better life. How about that?" And they are from a trusted organization every single time.
UNICEF is one of them, one of the big ones right there. UNICEF, Red Cross. I mean, it can go on and on. This
Catholic charities,
Catholic charity, any charity, any religious charity. Because I always thought, when they say, was it Sally Struthers used to say, give $1 to feed a child for a day?
Yeah.
Those commercials. Did that money actually did it actually go there, or was it used for something else?
It was probably used for something else, to pay Sally Struthers or to pay the organizers. I heard something interesting, and this is kind of in the same ballpark here. Is is because we're talking about extortion of money and stuff like that. I can't verify this, but when General Flynn takes a speaking arrangement, it's $25,000 as his fee. 25 grand is his fee.
250.
$250,000 is his
Yes.
fee. Okay, that's even worse.
That was 4 years ago.
That's even worse. That's even more horrible
Hey, you
because
get a picture with him afterwards.
oh my gosh, for 250 grand, I get a picture.
Yeah.
Jesus, does he give me an attaboy too? Does he give me a good game
Tap
and send me on my way? Yeah, a little tap on the ass. Like, yeah, good game, kid. You know, it's like, come on
Shit.
now. It's not a baseball game.
Yeah, it's just because it's always funny. You see these people come out with books, and you know, like they didn't write this book, and
No,
they make millions and millions of dollars off a book that someone else wrote. They're being paid off for something else.
It's another form of money laundering and extortion.
Yeah,
That's all. So really, what it comes down to, and it's disgusting, and people are noticing these things, And I posted a meme earlier today on Pilled saying slowest Great Awakening ever.
Yeah.
And it's because it is so painfully obvious of what's going on. And I've only actually been hardcore at this for about 3 years, people. I haven't. It's not like I've been at this for as long as Pete or Mr. W or anybody else. I've had to. I was thrown to the wolves with this information, and I dove in the shallow end of the pool head first. So
and that's why you're so frustrated a lot, because to you, and just like to me and Mr. W, that have been dealing with this for a number of years, and watching it, we know that it takes a long time for people to open their eyes.
mm-hmm.
To you, 3 years is an eternity, and it frustrates you because it's right there. How can you not see it?
Yeah,
right. Well, because people will believe in certain conspiracies about X, Y, and Z, but then when you say, okay, well, let's take that same mentality you have about X, Y, and Z and apply it to ABC. Oh no, I can't do that. You're just being a hater. Shut up, go away. Now, what are you talking about? I'm asking you just to take the same avenue of approach and just shift it to A, B, and C and see what happens, see what comes out, And
here's the reason.
It's
why
like
you can't just come out and blurt out the word Jews.
I understand this. I understand this.
A whole lot of in between that people don't understand.
Well, and that's why I'm taking a different approach to all this, and I'm trying to slowly explain what's happening here, and not just trying to use a garden hose to water a seed here, a little seedling. You've got during this whole process, there is there's a lot of humbling that yourself you have to do, because you can't just assume that everybody is at the same intellectual level or has had these epiphanies of you and stuff like that. And it's a very frustrating process. But I think once people start going down these holes and these rabbit holes and these thought exercises, they're going to realize, they're going to start seeing these patterns. They're going to start seeing, okay, well, A over here connects to A1 over here, and this one over here, but the whole thing, none of that can happen unless the individual, not the person, the individual wants to know this information.
It's kind of like 9/11 when we first come out and said it's an inside job. No way that this could have happened. The Bushes and Cheneys and no, you're crazy. They would never do that. It took years and years and years to get people to think, maybe 9/11 was an inside job, because a lot of stuff, like you said, connects over here with that and that. It took 20 years just to get somebody else to say, you know what, it might have been an inside job. Because a lot of people, like you said, Warrior, are still stuck into, well, our government, the Jews, Hitler. None of these people would do that. They're still
the left, the left, the Democrats are ruining America. That whole left-right paradigm too is nothing but a mind trap for a lot of people. I'm trying to, I want to help push people past that and let them know that it's okay to take the leap of faith of not knowing and exploring new ideas, because here's one thing that I've had a lot of conversations with people since this week here, and a lot of offline stuff. The one thing I keep telling them is that people, they're afraid to what's going to happen, afraid to know this information, and then not on the backside of that, what do they do with that information? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they know the truth of A, B, and C? Well, what do they do with it? You know what I'm saying? Well, you can educate yourself on it, and then in turn tell somebody else about it. You know,
Ideally,
again, ideally, right? That's where I've always been with it, is patience and education with trying to tell people what's really going on. And it's frustrating when some people just flat out refuse. You know, that's what that when you present them with a set of facts that are indisputable and they still reject it. That is called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is a mind killer.
Yeah,
it's a huge issue. Yes, it is.
Well, welcome to the crazy world where everybody thinks you're crazy because you don't think like them. It's been Sandy Hook. Everybody, oh yeah, you're nuts because yeah, you know, you're a freaking nut. You don't believe Ruby Ridge was, yeah, you know, all this stuff. Welcome, warrior, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience to get someone to even just take a look.
yeah.
It takes a lot of time and patience just to get them to look.
Yeah.
Once you get them, you know this, warrior. We talked about this before. Once you get them to take a look, they're going to be like, "Oh, let me look a little bit further,
Yeah. Once you give them a little peek behind the curtain, and then it's because when people are indoctrinated, they have this mind trap. There is a box around their brain, not a physical box, but there is the proverbial box around their brain where that's all they think is right there. Those 6 sides, that's all they can think of, and it's usually 3 or 4 inches in front of their face or away from their ears. So they're when they speak, it's an echo to them. They hear that. So what they do is they want to confirm their bias by doing what? By going and finding other people that are speaking, that are sounding just like them, who think just like them. And it doesn't do any good for anybody to have this confirmation bias. It's more important, I think, to have different ideas and calmly, collectively, without fifis, have the conversations. But it's a two-way street. You know, the 4 of us, we can have all the conversations in the world, right? And we have. But it takes other people to re-engage with you for ideas to be expressed and for this information and this energy to be put out into the ether.
Yeah. It's kind of like what I tell a lot of people. We all know the NFL's rigged, right? The NFL's fake as hell. You like the Patriots, you like the Cowboys, right? But I'm going to try to convince you that the Cowboys are better than the Patriots. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to, you know. But we all know the game's rigged, so, you know.
I would believe 9/11 before I believe the Cowboys are better than anybody.
Yeah, Cowboys just suck.
just saying. But you have to. Here's the thing, warrior. You have to be able to be willing to invest that time into that whole thing you were saying.
Yeah, and most people just don't have the time.
That's right.
And it gets constructed that way, where people don't have the time to look into this kind of stuff, you know. And then when you look in that perspective, like, oh no shit, now you know mom and dad are working 50 hours a week. You know, the TV's raising the kid, the cell phone's raising the kid. You know, they go to school and they get indoctrinated through the school there. You know, and then before you know it, the kids are little Nazi heads and they're little communists, and they're telling their parents that they're going to turn them in because they haven't bowed down to the state.
That's the biggest theft from us all is time.
The Bears.
You think about it, time. They take more time from us. Like you said, some people have to work 2-3 jobs just to survive. You just can't come home and let's research all day. Oh, you got to go do this. You got to go do that. Time is the biggest theft of all.
That's the value they siphon from us.
Yes, and if you have free time, what do they do? Oh, here's a distraction. Here's a football game on TikTok, Facebook, X, all this.
Vacation.
Yeah, you never have time just to sit down and think. They're thinking for you. They're you're gonna watch this show at 8:00 because it comes on at 8:00. If you don't watch it, you won't see it for a while. You know, it's time.
They're trying to control every aspect of your life.
Yes.
From the time you get up until the time you go to sleep with media and a blitz of media.
Well, like I said earlier, these boxes of control, these aspects, these blankets of control that are put around large groups of people, and we all just recognize here that there are blankets or systems of control or layers of control, if you will. But my journey is, I want to know who is in charge of these systems of control, who is making these calls, who is influencing our so-called stars and our leaders. I want to know who's influencing them. That's what I want to know. And that's where sometimes it can be convoluted to where it looks like it's always the Jew who's doing it. But I have a tendency to think that it's not necessarily the guy who's selling bagels and falafel, or bagels and cream cheese, but it's somebody who probably claims to be a Jew for political purposes, for financial purposes, for dual citizenship. Something of that nature. It's just I'm having a hard. I'm trying to figure out how, and this kind of goes back with the lobbyists that we were talking about earlier. Who's really in charge of our government? Who pays for it? Who influences it the most from the outside inward? That's a good track to go down and to try to figure that answer for yourselves. But it's because our system has been this way for a long time. So subversion of the truth, distraction, and then infiltration from within. Basically, the problem, reaction, solution. It's the same thing. It's always been this way. And in order to get out of this endless cycle of shit, like history repeating itself, because that's a cycle too. In order to get out of it, we need to identify who is in charge of it. Identify what the problem is first. Identify the systems that are controlling us, that are around us, and then identify who is pointing us into that direction of the system of control, or who's keeping us in those systems of control. And that's a hard thing to do, because it is the whole entire system is designed to confuse the average person. That's why, because people go. That's why people go, well, politics is too confusing for me. I don't want to pay any attention to it. Well,
That's on purpose.
On purpose. It's done that on purpose, because it's easier. People, just what Jim Bob said, psychologically, it's easier for people to accept what they feel is better, feel comfortable to them, and what they can digest, as opposed to diving into the years of information that I have, and that Pete has, and Mr. W has, and Spaz has, and everybody else who can do research, and what they've done. I think we all want the same goal, but there's not one exact way to go about it. I think there's multiple avenues of approach to multifaceted, multi fronts of war, if you will, to affect this. But we need to be educated in all these aspects. We need to be educated in all these systems of control, and who is implementing them, where they came from, who started them. That's also a big. You must know your history before you can know your future. So, I mean, to me, I'm going down this journey, and it's been this last almost a year now, has been very eye opening for me on a lot of different levels, and I keep coming back to the same feeling, like, why, I keep asking myself, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself out there? Why am I turning down opportunities to make a lot of money on different platforms by writing articles for people and going on their shows and analyzing the politics and stuff like that? It's because I know it's all a game. I know it's all bullshit, and I don't want to compromise my principles for a little bit of cash. I can't do that. And unfortunately, a lot of our politicians, our elected officials, our trusted officials, are nothing more than whores.
And
you don't get into politics for the people. I've said this for many years. You get into politics for the payday. It's as simple as that. There's no other way to look around it. Name me one politician that you can say is doing something for the people.
No.
Maybe Massey. Maybe Maybe because he's calling out truths where they're at. He's just calling it how he sees it. I mean, that's the only person. I mean, people say Rand Paul, but he's only one person, and he's had the same platform for a long time, and it's never. He's been a robot about the same message over and over and over again, and it's never worked. It hasn't resonated with people.
Right.
So maybe he should change his tactics to see if something resonates with people.
See, my father was mayor of my hometown. He was a Democrat mayor of my hometown for 6 years. And when he came up for re-election, he said no. And my mom's like, why don't you want to run for mayor again? You were the most popular, vote getter for president or mayor ever in our hometown.
Yeah.
Because I saw what politics are all about now. And he says, I'm not going to do that because they were trying to pay him off to do the sewage plant and do this. And about a year after that, the election came up for the city judge, and they wanted my dad to endorse this kid who's never been to law school to be judge. In Indiana, you don't have to go to law school. You have to be a lawyer. You can be a city judge. Okay. But he endorsed a Republican candidate because he was a longtime lawyer and stuff. And the Democrat Party kicked him out of the party after that because he will not, because it's his personal beliefs that you should at least go to law school if you're going to be a judge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or pass the bar or just pass the bar, So they kicked him out of the party. And my dad said all he wanted to do was make the town better. And all he did was go to court because everybody tried to sue him because he was kind of like Trump. He was trying to fix things for the city. He was going to do this. Oh, we're going to sue you because you didn't use this company to pave the roads and stuff like that.
Oh, God.
And that's always stuck with me. That's just thinking of a higher level from a small town in Indiana compared to up Washington or the state.
Yeah.
What really goes on. And it's kind of like Warrior just said, it's all about money and power. Once you get all the money, what else can you get? You want power. And when you get all the power, you need more money. All right. That's all it is.
Well, look at what Nancy Pelosi does.
I know if we did that, we'd all be in jail right now.
We'd be in prison.
Yeah.
And she says, I don't trade any stocks. My husband, when he's not getting railed by hammers, he does all that. And my kids.
Yeah. They're just really good at picking stocks,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, but I've said this before. There's
and we sit there and we look at it like.
Well, I've said this before. There's people who are allowed to make a lot of money, and those people who are not.
Mm-hmm.
Because of look at the GameStop thing with Ethereum and that whole situation. If you guys remember the GameStop thing, right? Dogecoin, and what happened? The SEC got involved. Why? Is because the little guys, like the rest of us, we're not allowed to make our fortune the honest way.
Yeah.
No.
We got to be compromised if we want to be billionaires, if we want to be millionaires. We have to pay somebody to get into that into that club.
Yeah,
They have to compromise something.
Isn't the Wall Street bet guy in jail now?
I have no idea.
No.
He's not. Okay.
No.
Well, see, I think that's what, honestly, I think that's what Warrior and Salty are getting at. That one of the most prevalent things about Donald Trump was the time he was made a superstar. And if you remember what Dave Chappelle said
Yes.
about what made Donald Trump a superstar, it wasn't what made us vote for him. It still is what was said in the same time frame, that yes, not paying taxes makes me smart.
You were watching Scott's show this morning. This
No,
afternoon.
I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, because he played that.
I gotta fucking work, man. I come home.
He ain't got time.
I'm catching the tail end of the Scott show, and that's just so I can barely catch up. I have no fucking idea.
He played that on the end of the show.
Okay, so at least
You're correct.
I'm
Right on.
I'm surfing the wave. Okay, I'm surfing the wave, right? Yeah. I'm still within the confines of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. And,
So,
and
yeah.
the game is not for us. It's not for us. It's for them.
Right. And I think that's what Warrior's trying to chime in on is like, because Trump admitted that's what he does. He follows the same rules as they do, right? And he called him out on them, like,
Well, we also have to
change the
agree
rules.
that all these people, all these quote unquote elites, including Donald Trump, they sent their kids to the same schools. They went to the same plays. They went to the same parties. They all got invited. They've known each other for a long, long time. I mean, Trump used to party with the Clintons for a long time.
Sure.
Before and whenever that was. But it's a thing though, is that in order for Pete or I to make our first $1 million, nowadays, you can get lucky and do it. Back, 50, 60 years ago, it was easy because you with hard work, you invested properly, and you bet big, and sometimes you won big, right? Well, even today, that's kind of the case, but not anymore. Not anymore. You can't, I can't go and buy XRP. I can't go buy 5,000 shares of that without it being a ding at my bank, my financial institution, without them saying, "Hey, why are you spending your money on this?" In order for me to do that, I have to go through the security department through my bank in order to go buy crypto. You know what I'm saying? So there's that's a level that's a level of control. They have slight control of your money. They can freeze your bank account like that.
But if somebody like Warren Buffett or Elon Musk wants to go and buy 50,000 Bitcoin or whatever XRP,
Totally
I think
fine.
XRP is at 75 cents, right?
Yeah.
Whatever
Yes,
it is,
it's really cheap.
no problem.
Yeah, I mean, Warren Buffett just what he do? He liquidated something like $600 million in some company I saw. I can't remember exactly what company it was.
Bank of America.
Bank of America. Yeah. He liquidated all of his shares in Bank of America. I'm thinking, well, what is Warren Buffett trying to tell us? Because these people do things, these billionaires, these quote unquote money moguls they'll write a book and give you a couple secrets, but they won't tell you everything. Well, the everything is that you have to basically compromise your entire soul to make that type of money.
Yeah.
And then those who are willing to do that and willing to do whatever it takes to be rich and be famous and all that kind of stuff. You got to ask questions. You got to ask questions about how did Katy Perry become so famous? You got to ask questions how did Nancy Pelosi become so rich? You got to ask questions of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You have questions about everybody. You have to seriously. I mean, when I say question everything, I don't mean just question the things around you. I mean everything.
You want
has
to
to
know
be
what question
questioned.
I have is how are these people and all of these political higher ups that are rich beyond whatever, they don't die until they're in their hundreds. How
They
is
become
that
crypt
possible?
keepers. Well, what did we talk about earlier? Adrenochrome, right? Blood doping. Who was a famous sports guy who blood doped? Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
Tour de France. He had to give back 7 of them because he was cheating because he was blood doping.
Look at the Queen of England.
That's a legal form of sucking out adrenochrome.
Yeah.
So he ingested so much testosterone that he fucked up his body of testosterone, and then therefore needed the unequilibrium of it's such a poison. I'm sorry. Did I say that?
He was growing testicles out of his testicles. That's how bad it was.
Estrogen. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yes. Not yeah.
And then he's like, what the fuck?
Wonderful sound effects. I love it.
I thought that was pretty good, actually.
I'm sorry.
I explained a lot.
I look at Eyes Cry Not says Magic Johnson.
What happened to him?
Oh, he's still around.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't take the poison that Dr. Fauci was giving all the AIDS patients.
Oh,
Yeah.
AZT?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, whatever.
Hey,
He
funny
was.
story.
Dr. Fauci is another one of those eugenics Jews out there that wants to kill people because he's experimenting on people. His father was a Nazi for crying out, or a Nazi scientist for crying out loud. Okay, come on, let's
We
not
need to find out.
let's not we're
Yeah.
not beating around the bush here. We're just stouting facts here. You know, I mean, he even talks like it. He's like, "What are you doing? I'm the science. Come on, I invented everything. I also killed a lot of the gays off."
You know,
And
I
he
got
did.
kicked out of the Lakers game once, Pete.
You know what I what's that?
I got kicked out of the Lakers game. Remember Magic's first game back? They gave out shirts that said Magic's back.
Yeah.
When I was stationed out in California, and I took a marker and wrote HIV boy on it.
Oh geez.
Game, and I got kicked out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what very sensitive times back then.
Yeah, I got kicked out for this boy.
That's what they call me at work. Magic.
Magic, Magic Mike or just Magic?
No,
I
because
don't know how
they're
he
like,
thought
hey, this was there, and now it's gone. You removed it. Can you replace it? And I'm like, Lemgaria Veleviosa.
Yeah.
Look at that shit.
You know what we should do?
Pass inspection, bitch. What?
I kind of never was a fan of this, but we should have a show besides the ones that we do together that's behind the subscription wall,
Oh,
to where people who want to hear can subscribe to my channel. The minimum subscription. But we can talk about a lot of things that the general public doesn't really want to hear.
Oh, so you okay? It's funny you mentioned that because I've also thought about doing something like that, but not doing it behind a paywall, but more of a because I'm broadcasting to like 5 or 6 different platforms right now, and
Yeah.
not right now, but you know when I do my own shows, and I've often thought about doing a disclaimer right at the beginning of the show and saying, okay, this conversation is not ready to have this conversation yet. So I'm going to go ahead and shut Pilled off. And if people want to have this conversation, please go to Kick, to Odyssey, to Rumble, to DLive. You know, please go to one of those platforms and I'll be willing to have a conversation with you. I've thought about this. I seriously have, because I think you're right, Pete. There's certain things that we can talk about on this platform, but then once you go like this much far past the line, you're a heretic.
Yeah.
You know, burn the witch at the stake. Yeah.
I think it's like I think it's a good idea. Maybe we all can. And Mr. W, by the way, if you would like, I wouldn't mind having you on Thursdays as a permanent fixture here.
Thank you.
I mean-
I'll check with the boss to make sure I don't get in trouble or get slapped.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good thing here, because Reverend Rant is now doing another show on Thursday nights. He'll be here on Tuesdays, but on Thursdays he's doing or tonight he's doing his own panel show, which that's great, fantastic. I don't know if he's on Pilled or not, but I would like to have you as a permanent fixture. I think you have a lot of great ideas to contribute to the show. So, but I think we should talk about doing something like that.
Yeah.
And
Be careful with Kick Warrior. They're
yeah.
they're the Twitch juniors.
Oh,
I
I don't really care. I mean, I'm just trying to get my voice out there, really. And if they kick me off the platform, it's no skin off my back.
I think the only thing I can stream on now is just
It's not OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Do a TikTok. You can
I'm so
do
trying to
Isn't
get banned.
is
dance while you talk.
yeah? I would spend 3 minutes on TikTok and be kicked off permanently. To be honest.
It's not that hard. Trust me. I know.
No, I bet it isn't. I bet it isn't. That's why I haven't done anything on my TikTok account so far, is because I actually do want to see if I can exploit the system, the algorithm, by making money off of it through my dogs.
You probably could.
So yeah, I think I probably could too.
Remember old Joe 102, right? He's got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
10,000 followers on TikTok. And all he does is
What?
post he just posts his videos of deer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What if I got TikTok and the first thing I did was say, "Fuck TikTok"?
I don't know. Maybe they would suspend your account for a day or something. I have no idea.
TikTok.
I mean, you can't say like rape. You have to say grape.
Oh, okay.
can't-
So
yeah, you can't say
the
murderer.
first video I would do on TikTok is rape TikTok.
I
Yeah,
Rape
murdered or
TikTok.
raped.
You're going.
Bye, Felicia.
Mizalami, Hamasadi, fucking jihadi, fucking
Because I always
TikTok,
ask my
right?
wife, why are they saying
Boom! Fuck
unalive
you!
on TikTok?
Delete me, right?
They always say unalive. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, unalive.
Yeah,
You
unalive.
can't say killed. You got to say unalived. What?
Yeah.
What?
I'd rather be the shortest fucking TikTok profile in history, and be known for the blue pill apocalypse that came upon it than anything.
Yeah, I
You know
got,
what? Fuck it. If there's a way to get canceled, I'm all there, dude.
I've been canceled so many times. It's ridiculous.
See, and I feel left out, Pete. I fucking feel left out. I ain't been canceled anywhere except for Belushi Show. I was canceled on Belushi Show.
Well, we all are.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I don't feel like that's a
he's such a dick.
badge. I don't feel like that's, you know,
I'll have you on tomorrow, and I'll just kick you right off to start out with. Hey, here's
I think we should do that.
Hey, Spaz, how you doing? Now get the fuck off my channel.
Yeah,
anyway, it's raining. I gotta close the
Kick rocks.
door. Hold on.
he unalived somebody, so we got to let him go, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, accidentally,
As long as you
allegedly.
didn't grape anybody. That'd be fine.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing. Yeah.
Killing it. I told somebody you're killing it. I got kicked. I got a strike and kicked off Reddit for saying killing it.
You know, I tried that Reddit thing and the 4chan thing. I couldn't get it. I couldn't.
Or
It was
change.
too much.
I barely get Telegram, let alone those platforms.
I don't do Telegram.
Telegram sucks. I hate
I
it.
barely do Truth Social. I don't even post anything. I like X. There's some pretty cool stuff there. But
I forgot about Truth Social. I'm glad you said that. I forgot all about that thing.
yeah,
I deleted my account like a year ago, I think.
That's
You
so
deleted it. I
Yeah.
remember when it was like, you know, you gotta like advance yourself a space, and I was like, okay, I'll advance
Yeah,
myself
you
a space.
you have to have a waiting space. Like you have a
Right,
number. Here's your no
you
tiki,
needed-
no true soci.
You needed
That's
to
right.
be verified,
the number is this long.
and
Yeah.
I got my number. And
I'll
I
be
never
on about
verified
6
it.
months. I'll hit you up, friend you on there.
I
never
remember those
verified
days.
my number. I mean, I pre-signed up, but I never officially signed up. You know what I mean?
Well, you're
Yeah.
not missing anything. It's about the most boring.
I've never
platform
been officially on True Social.
Yeah,
Don't even waste your time, dude.
You like a
Seriously.
repost of repost. Truth Social's the place for you.
Well, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Orange Man still needed a voice. You know what I mean? So,
But did he?
well,
I mean, the man has the most famous name in the world. I mean, he's just as famous as Jesus is.
yeah,
That name is. You know, Trump is just as famous as Jesus. The name.
why
Jesus,
did-
Trump, the Beatles.
Why didn't I join?
No, the Beatles are bigger than Jesus. You know, so I mean, it's
You know why I didn't
Trump is bigger
join?
than Jesus.
You know why I didn't join?
Why?
Because I thought it was some kind of fucking another ploy for a fucking database collection of personal information.
It probably is.
Allegedly.
We got you
But
now.
it's free to sign up, isn't it?
Isn't it? Is that what that was? Is that what that pre-fucking scale?
As soon as
did?
you sign up,
Four-letter word. It always gets you free.
free.
the FBI is going to be knocking on your door as soon as you sign up.
Dude,
Right.
Nothing's free.
FBI
I'm
knocks
just
on my
waiting
door.
for someone to knock on my door. To be honest.
FBI knocks on my door. I'm laying down on the ground. I'm pulling my pants down and I'm holding my ass cheeks open. Shoot me, motherfucker.
They,
Last-
Are you trying to take a COVID test? Is that where you're going to ask them to?
No,
You know.
nothing up the nose. I will not accept anything.
Well,
in
you're
the
spreading
nose.
cheeks. I mean, come on. I mean, our
What about-
ambassador to China had to get his
I'm-
colon swab for
I'm
COVID.
Just asking.
Oh.
I'm just asking.
Remember that?
I'm just
How
asking.
embarrassing.
How far are
If
you
want
willing to
this
go?
job, Spaz, you need to bend over.
Are-
We got
Are
this
you really
plan.
gay enough? Are you really gay enough?
See, now, Spaz, you're onto something there. You're
This
really
is what
onto
I
something
have to
because
offer?
it's true. Because if you think about it, how many gay people are in high positions of power?
I got
All of them.
diarrhea. I'm
Right.
gonna shit on you.
There seems to be a lot of gay people, gay men specifically, who are in these high positions of power.
It will burn.
And I'm like, well, why do I have to become a homosexual in order to make $1 million or to
Yeah.
make $1 billion?
Yes.
Do I need to be compromised in a certain position to be able to make money for certain? Because here's the thing, though, is that just like there's extortion and there's blackmail on all levels, right? If to get to that billionaire status, that multi-millionaire, $800 million net worth or that $4.5 billion net worth, you've got to play by their rules. Whoever they are, whoever controls the money, whoever controls the narrative and the conversation, you have to play by their game, by their rules. If you don't, guess what? You're out. You're not going to be there. The IRS is going to constantly come after you. You're not going to have the opportunities. You're not going to make the big deals. All this kind of stuff. So in order to do this, you have to be part of the club. And that's what people are having a hard time understanding, is that even Trump is part of the club. Okay, in order to get his millions, he had to play ball. In order to get his over the last 7 years, $250 million from Edelson's, he had to play ball for them. In order to pay out to keep in business, he had to take money from the Rothschilds twice. This isn't me bashing Trump. This is just me pointing out the facts. This is what is the truth, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people tend to just look over that kind of stuff. They're like, whatever, it's fine. He took no. If you take $250 million, you don't have to answer to anybody. Have you seen $250 million, people? Has anybody seen $50,000 stacked in front of them? Have they seen $500,000 stacked in front of them? Have they seen $5 million or $500 million or $1 billion stacked in front of them? Okay,
$1 million in cash in a suitcase.
just one time.
I was going to buy something that I had an investor for, and the guy backed out of it. So
See,
$1 million.
it's pretty heavy, isn't it?
It's a large amount of money
Yeah,
for $100
and
bills.
yeah. For a bunch of dollar bills, you'd expect it to be something different. But
Yeah.
what I want to convey here is that in order to be, and here's what I don't understand. A lot of people a few years ago, before Biden took over, there was this movement of we need to create our own thing. We need to create our own separate market, our own separate gun supply, our own separate bullet manufacturers, our own separate grocery stores. Everything needs to be done on a separate thing to break away from their system, the control system, systems of control. All right, what happened to that? What happened to that movement? I mean, I see people, that you have your business, which, has gone down, unfortunately. I've got my business. Then there's other people who, like Fruit Bat, she's got her t-shirt company. Rise of Tires got their clothing line merchandise. There's what happened to all the promotions of all of these, not just getting your essential oils from somebody, but, your soap, your toilet paper, your laundry detergent, plates, silverware, things, honey, for example. What happened to that? What happened to that movement, that push? Because everybody at that point, this is true, everybody recognized that the current system they were in was not for them. But now I'm seeing people back into the system trying to get themselves, trying to think that they can change the system from within, when reality is you need to remove yourself from the system so they have no control over you. So the powers that be have no control over you or I or Spaz or anybody else. That's what I That's kind of the message I'm pointing to. Is like, what happened to that self-reliance? What happened to that can-do attitude? Was it all the wind taken out when in 2020 or in November 5th, November 6th, or maybe December 6th of 2020? It does, doesn't it? So I look at that, right? So you look at how easy it is to defeat the American spirit. So why would these people that explains these people's brazenness and on the platform and out in the open, if you will, is because they understand now that the American people and majority are a bunch of pussies.
True, very true.
It's maybe not individually, like I said, people are dumb, individuals are smart.
As a collective.
Yes, as a collective, correct.
People are afraid today to be, Warrior said that or Pete said that. They're afraid to get a label that, oh my God, he doesn't agree. A lot of people are afraid of that. That's why they don't.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the you don't agree with that label.
Yeah.
I'm not
going
to
be tattooed on my forehead.
I'm not going to tattoo it on my forehead. No.
I do not agree.
Well, it's like I tell a lot of people, I just hate everybody the same. Oh, you're a racist because you said that. No, I hate everybody the same.
What's wrong with that? How is that racist?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're such a racist for saying that.
They don't understand the words that they're using.
Yeah, it's just I hate the same no matter who you are. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I like, I'm not.
Idiocracy is more prevalent than we believe.
Yeah,
because we don't see it like they do. We see it like we do, and we're woke. Essentially, we're whatever it is.
That's all. Interview.
Woke awaken.
What's his name? Mike Judd. He's he was a Butthead guy, King of the Hill, Idiocracy guy.
Yeah.
And they asked him about what was he thinking when he made that movie back then. He's like, that's how I saw America. And they said, how do you see it today? He said, it's twice as worse. He says he says we're living the movie now. We are living the movie.
Twice as worse as pointing your ass towards a campfire and blowing a Smurf hole of a fucking nuclear detonation.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Right, because we've been eating poisonous food. It's obviously,
but it has electrolytes.
Yeah. Michael Jordan drinks that, Spaz. You need to drink it too.
Look,
that's right. He drank Gatorade, so if you drink Gatorade, you're gonna become a better basketball player.
Yeah.
Gatorade tastes like chalk.
Buy my shoes.
Yeah, right. Buy my shoes and my drink.
Yep.
Fuck the shoes.
That's crazy.
What do your socks feel like?
I look at the world today as the Australian break dancer.
Oh Jesus!
That's how I look at the world right now.
That's great. That's great, Mr. W. That is fantastic.
I had to bring him back.
Yeah.
It is. You con your way into things, and then you get out there and actually do it. It's like, I gotta do it. I might as well try. I have my look.
Driving into oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
That's definitely oncoming traffic.
It's like this one girl picking up the DJ booth, fucking.
Ooh.
It's crazy.
Looks like a train wreck. Sounds like a train wreck.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Whatever this is.
Whatever this is.
I know what it sounds like, and I guess we can't say that.
No.
Okay.
No, we can't say that. What can we? Right. Go ahead and say it.
Well, I'll say it. It sounds like we went off the rails.
No, we kept it between the yellow lines. We still moved forward with the conversation, and we're just kind of doing this thing, It's back and forth a little bit.
I wish I was the one who created the Off the Rails podcast. It's a great name. But anyway, we'll leave that where it's at.
Almost off the road. That's
let's not go there.
Still on the road, maybe kind of.
We throw it down here.
Maybe we're on a dirt road. How about that? With a lot of potholes. Yeah, that works. Yeah. We're on a mud trail right now. We just make our own path.
Exactly.
If you sit still, you're gonna eat the dirt.
Lock it forward low, boys. Let's go.
Warrior, tell us what you're doing for this weekend. Tomorrow, what's going on?
Yep. So tomorrow, I plan on having a stuck in NYC on with me tomorrow, and we're gonna spit. We had a nice conversation earlier this week, and we're gonna continue it. We're gonna spitball a whole bunch of different ideas, and I will just let you guys know it is not going to be for the faint of heart. It is going to be rated R. It is definitely not. Pilled will definitely not be ready to have this conversation that NYC and I are going to have tomorrow.
What time is this?
It's going to be 7:00 my time, so 5:00 your time. And then we will see. I'm looking at maybe it's a couple hours at least, maybe 3 hours. Who knows how long it's going to go? But we're going to get down and dirty with a lot of things. And hold on.
Oh, night fight.
I got mine too. So
Hey, listen to
Why
we're
the fuck
good.
do we all have? Why do we
Yeah,
all
right,
have
well-
knives?
I don't know because we like them.
Nice.
Let's see here. Then Saturday, oh shit. Hold on.
I can't go in there.
Go big or go home. There you go.
Oh, we're gonna go get a samurai sword now.
No shit. Come out with Conan.
Okay, now we're getting off the rails. Now,
Yes.
now, he's at an AC-203 round. Spaz. Holy shit! Here we go. This
What
is
the
awesome. Right. So, but anyways, okay. So Saturday, I don't know. I might be on a panel with No F's Given and Energy and GI Wingnut. I might be, which I met him in real life. He's a good guy, by the way. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
So he lives about 45 minutes north of me. So, but or I will have open dojo on Saturday night. I will have one of those two. One of those two is going to happen. Nothing more. Then on Sunday, Disconnect Theater, obviously, and I'm thinking. I'm thinking I want to go with the theme of gangsta, and there's a lot of good gangster films out there that I haven't played yet, and I think I might go that route. And then next Sunday, next Disconnect Theater, like into September, is next Saturday is going to be very interesting because I'm going to have movies and documentaries to play next Saturday that are going to be telling you a specific message. There's an underlying message, and it's going to be this to this to this and then to this. So I'm going to be stepping people through a thought process and a thought exercise through the movies and documentaries I'll be playing next Saturday. Because nobody does that when I do this kind of stuff. Nobody does, except for you, Mr. W. You play your documentaries and stuff, and there seems to be a general theme. But nobody does movies with the way that I do them on Pilled or anywhere else that I've seen. So when you watch stuff, you're actually watching true art. You're watching a lot of thought processing goes into it. There's layering involved and all that kind of stuff. So just, it's not just watching movies for movie's sake. It's actually, there's thought involved into it. So but beyond that, you can find me on X. You can find me here on Pilled. You can find me on other platforms. I've already played that one in Beach Bomber Mermaid. I played that a couple of weeks ago, I think. And American History X.
I love that movie.
Yeah, great movie, right? Just
movie.
a great message. So beyond that, I mean, if anybody has any comments, questions, or concerns, you're more than welcome to DM me or email me. You can go to my bio here on Pilled and find my bio or my email. And ask me any question, send me any link. I'm not going to say, oh, well, you obviously don't know what the fuck you're talking about because everybody's at different levels. Everybody's at, Spaz may be down here and I'm up here. Well, I want to get Spaz up to here. I'm not, if I succeed, I'm going to reach back and I'm going to grab someone's hand and say, hey, Kip, come on, let's go. I'll take you along this. Why? Because I was there 18 months ago, not too long ago. I know exactly what you're going through. So let me help you, okay? And I keep telling that to people. I keep telling that to my girlfriend, and it's just not catching on yet. But I'm going to keep up with the message. I'm going to keep consistent with the message, and I encourage everyone to have an open mind, to go do your own research, to ask questions when you don't understand, to reach out to people who maybe have crazy ideas. You never know what you might learn from somebody if you just open your mind and have a conversation. So
Absolutely.
that being said, gentlemen, Mr. W, Spaz, Pete, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Everybody out in the chat, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. And I'm
See
sorry.
you Sunday, sir.
See you later. Be in the garage
Okay.
for karate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. We're doing garage and karate. We're smashing watermelons later.
Lord.
Anyways, I'm Audi 5000. Everyone be well. Thanks again, Pete. Appreciate it.
Not a
And
problem.
have a good night. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Mr. W,
I
Yeah.
like that guy.
what you got going on this weekend?
I'll be sitting at home, feeding my dogs, cleaning up the yard, and trying not to forget my wife's birthday on the 1st.
There you go. Can't get any better than that.
You need a reminder
I need like 100 of them
on the 1st.
on the 1st.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good deal.
That's about
Well,
it.
I will send you the invitation every Thursday.
I will be.
And if you want to come, you're more than welcome.
Well, thank
So-
you.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate all your input and look forward to doing stuff with you in the future.
Turn
Same
your mic
here.
up next time.
Yeah.
What? Can you hear me now? Spaz.
Update your stuff before you come on.
Okay, I'll get it working next time.
There you go. All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And of course, we have the man, the myth, the legend,
Yeah.
Mr. Spazzle Yeti.
Both our mic sounds better than mine. I
Yeah.
only paid like $35 for this.
Oh,
Makes me sound gay.
you sound okay.
Yeah, I
It's
sound
not
gay.
bad.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking about Sean Anon's microphone, whatever it costs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because of my voice, the microphone that I'm using is now it's a little bit more expensive one because I can't speak as loud as I used to.
I'm getting used to it. I really am.
Yeah.
You still talk over, most people.
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
There is an audio battle in these, square blocks of
Oops.
Thursday nights.
Sometimes, yeah. So Spaz has mandatory Metal Monday. It's a requirement. I was there. I blue pilled. I got to do it. Mandatory Metal Monday.
Eye candy. Good Lord.
And the rest of the week,
Well, you ain't gonna find me because I'll be here all the time.
yeah, the rest of the week, we don't find Spaz. He finds us.
I'm sitting in the dark, bro.
Yep. Smirking and lurking.
I love you with the gold and the
I appreciate it. I will see you on Tuesday for That's a Great Question podcast.
God willing, if work don't kill me.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Anyway,
Exactly. So
I'm still a follower of Jesus. I really am.
just keep praying.
Amen.
Keep praying. Praying works. All right, brother. Nothing but love.
Amen.
And I'll see you on Tuesday.
God bless.
God bless. Good night.
Yeah, hold on. I've got to push the button.
All righty, guys. Thank you all. Everybody on X, D Live, YouTube. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for all 11,517 gold pills. I appreciate that very, very much. Those tips. I love the tips. And tomorrow is Friday. I should be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. with a nice little show. So hopefully I will see you then. Let's see who we can send you over to. Here. Oops, hold on. Oops. Okay. It's not letting me set a rate. Why not? There we go. Because I'm blocked. Alrighty. Thank you guys. I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Bye bye.